Hey guys, welcome back. Orbom here, bringing you the next week of our Digimon card deck wrap-up, where we're talking about all the decks that have been doing well in Japan. I know some of you guys were laughing at me last week for saying yellow is not the best deck, but I think results speak for themselves. We have way more yellow decks this week than we did green decks, but it's mostly to the fact that there's more hybrid yellow decks than there are hybrid green decks, and then there's a lot of hybrid yellow green decks as well. So it's quite a mix and match, but yellow is proving that it has multiple way to wins outside of the one strategy that green does have, which we'll be showcasing this week. So you guys know the drill. If you guys like this kind of content, don't forget to like the video if you haven't already, subscribe, share all that good jazz. There's a lot of decks to go over this week. I did look over all of this, so I'm going to show you guys only the interesting ones like I did last week. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I did not, oh, there we go, boom, easy money, easy money. All right, let's go ahead and look at the decks now. So we're going to do what we always do first. Go to DTCG Review, so shout out to them as always. Don't forget to check them out on Twitter, and they have links to not only what I'm about to show you guys, which is like a spreadsheet with all the deck lists, but they also have price guides and whatnot. And like they also give you the first new information, such as the brand new Hexablumon, which, you know, we're here, we might as well talk about real quick. This card's kind of crazy. When attacking, discard 2 evolution sources in the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. If your opponent has any Digimon without evolution sources, this Digimon gets jamming, and all of your opponent's Digimon without evolution sources cannot attack and block. So not only does this kill, not kill, but because we've had a lot of cards that kill Rookie Rush. The Rookie Rush always evolves. Sometimes Rookie Rush becomes like Champion Rush, where it's a bunch of level 4s that do well and whatnot. But this also does really well against things another deck that's been popping up, which is going to be Megazoo. This stops Megazoo until they evolve into their Chaosmon, or because usually that's what Megazoo play is the Chaosmon. But until then, this does a really good job against a lot of different decks. Jamming's nice. You can still attack this thing. It's not like indestructible or anything. It can still be removed by a lot of different options, but it's a really cool option if you're looking to have a deck that can really disrupt your opponent while only be a 3 evolution cost. So it's just like another card that you can play in blue, which is really cool. But anyways, we're here to talk about this stuff. We're not here to talk about that. I just saw it and I was really excited and I haven't talked about it yet. So as you can see, yellow has a total of 12 decks. Green has a total of 7. But honestly, even though I still think yellow is the best deck in format right now, I still think that these totals don't mean much, because as you can see here, the pure decks are the same. And there's a lot more hybrid yellows, but a few of these hybrid yellows can go into green. I still think yellow would have the overall total, but yeah, I mean, the hybrid yellows are, some of these hybrid yellows are Megazoo decks that play both green and yellow in them. So there's that. Of course, very little blue. Red's still doing well. Very little purple and black. These guys are just dominating the meta, but there's a lot more hybrids in the format. I really like this format right now, even though yellow and green are dominating. It feels like there's a lot of different play styles that have been winning tournaments lately, so I'm very excited about that. If you guys are curious, here is a spreadsheet. I've already opened up the deck list that I do want to talk about, but this is the spreadsheet you can check out if you were looking to if you're looking to look at all the deck lists. But we'll go ahead and get started. They're not really in any particular order, and I had to cut out some of the pictures that are really gross. But we're talking about this Blacklist first. I'm gonna try to make this video pretty quick, so I'm going to try to zoom through some of these deck lists that don't really need too much explaining. For instance, this Blacklist, it's nothing too crazy. It's a little Ragnarlordmon splashed into a little bit of Commandramon D Brigade deck. Nothing too crazy here. He's only playing the black guy because, you know, TK, which, by the way, I slept on TK. If you're looking just to have a memory gaining tamer, this is probably the best one, because it only costs 3 memory. In theory, if you only look at the top, if the top 3 cards you look at are only black, which in this deck is very likely. You only have these 4 cards that don't count. Everything else in this deck is black. And then also being able to look at the top 3 cards of your deck means you can plan, you know what you're going to draw. Let me actually do that still real quick. There we go. You know what you're going to draw, so you can plan ahead like a whole turn or two, because you know exactly what you're going to draw, because you get to put them back in any order you like, I think, or something like that. Let's actually double check that real quick, because I don't want to give out wrong information. There we go. But yeah, being able to look at the top 3 cards of your deck is very, very useful, especially in black, since black has to be really particular about how they plan out their turns. Oh, so excuse me, guys. Yeah, you can play them back in the top of your deck in any order, which is really handy. Other than that, it's pretty standard black. A lot of Commandramons, a few blockers here and there, 6 blockers, which I kind of feel like is a standard number of blockers nowadays, except for in red. Anyways, moving on to the next list, we got a red list, and this one's really interesting. If you guys don't know, if you guys don't check out the streams on Twitch that I do, where we talk about, where we play the set format, I've been really happy about this. There's been 2 red decks I really like, especially after testing it last Tuesday. I really like the next red deck we're going to talk about, but this red deck is really cool. It doesn't really focus on level 6s. You do have access to like a Ancient Greymon, but like that's not the point of this deck. The point of this deck is Aldamon, because its ability to gain, I think, 400, putting it at 1100 DP, while also having security attack +1 is great. But then you have this card over here, which gives you an added security attack +1. We're gonna go ahead and look over it real quick. It's 1 memory cost. Works on your hybrid Digimon. It gains 300 power, so it becomes 1400 power before any other boosts, which there are a few more obviously. It gets security attack +1, so now you have security attack +2 on your card before you factor in anything like a Greymon or something like that. And then if you get blocked, you gain 3 memory, so you have a whole bunch more things to do. And it has it has probably one of the best security skills in the game. All of your Digimon get security attack +1 until the end of your turn. So if you have like 3 or 4 Digimon just on the board, whether they're like little Dracomons or whatever, Biomons, some baby Digimon on the board, if your opponent's hit into security and they find this card and they don't win the game that turn, you're just going to swing for game your turn, unless they can stop all your guys from doing anything. So like this card's insane. It's absolutely busted. I've won so many games just from my opponent hitting this off security, because I'm like, well, I have 3 guys on board, so I'm going to win. So that's really cool. Yeah, you've got Greymon for security attack +1, a bunch of other blockers and hybrid Digimon and whatnot. He's also playing this guy, which like the secret metal Greymon that has security attack +3, I believe. And then you got some other good stuff. So overall, pretty cool deck. I like this deck a lot. And then the other red deck that we're talking about is, I know some of these picture qualities are terrible, by the way. Don't blame me. Blame whoever took the camera, took the photo. But we have an Omni Red deck that plays Victory Greymon, which I have to say, guys, Victory Greymon in testing has been nutty. It's a 4 evolution cost. Don't get me wrong. You're usually ending your turn with Victory Greymon, but you're ending your turn by evolving into a Mega. That can also delete a guy off the board, sometimes even 2 guys. It's only 1 guy, of course, which was one thing I didn't mention in the last video, is that it's a when Digivolve skill, so you get the Digiburst when you Digivolve, but you only do it once, so you delete 1 guy on the board. And it only takes 2 evolution sources to do it, so you don't even have to worry about evolving only from like from a level 2. You can do it as long as you've evolved from a level 4. And because of that, you get to keep some of the good skills, which you have some promo Agumons. Do you have what are your level 4s? You don't have any crazy level 4s. But you do have this guy that gives you security attack +1. So realistically, you don't care about the level 4s and 5s in this deck, since they don't have any good skills. But your level 3s do. Sometimes, if you play this Voltramon, it does. You can keep your baby as well, and you're also attacking with Blitz Greymon, so this guy's playing Marcus because of it, because Marcus Damon gives you memory if you attack with a Greymon, and all of his main attackers are Greymon except for Omnimon, that it will eventually become. Yeah, this card's crazy. You're like, red has become really interesting. It's become very turbo while also being very disruptive. Now you have these 4 evolution cost guys, which, by the way, getting 4 memory at the start of your turn is not impossible. Once you get, as long as you get like somewhat rolling, you can get 4 memory pretty consistently with Marcus, because all you have to do is attack with a Greymon that turn. Unfortunately, that means that the first Greymon you evolve into will probably not be the case unless your opponent gives you 4 memory or more. But like after that, you'll start with 4 memory every turn if you attack with Greymon, as long as they survive. But this one having both piercing and Digivolution for disruption is really strong, and this one just deleting some guys with 8,000 power is really strong. So I'm a huge fan of red Omni right now. I think it's really strong. I really do. I've definitely been like sweeping like games in my testing with this video. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move on to blue. This is just another Omni Blue deck. This one is playing Hexablumon. We talked about this a few weeks ago. But by the way, guys, if I'm talking about cards too fast for you, or if I'm like kind of skipping through some cards, that probably means in one of my previous weekly videos I've discussed it more in detail, so just check that out if you have not already. But we have Hexablumon here. It's got Digiburst 2, when Digivolved again, so you may trash any 2 cards from the Digimon. Yeah, you know what it is. Return one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon to the hand. So just like Victory Greymon, this is another disruption card, but it can be any level 5, doesn't matter how strong it is, which they're both good. Usually level 5s are 8,000 power or less. Very rarely, unless you have like literally the ones that are only about power, do they have more than 8,000 power. But being able to put it back into your hand when digivolving is really nice. He's also playing it alongside good old Metal Garurumon. This one loses me. I don't see any decent level 4s or level, like the only decent level 1 that has like an on-play skill is the Gabumon. So I'm not really seeing why he's playing it this way, but it's Omni Blue. Omni Blue does Omni Blue things. You have consistent level 4s since you have Digiburst here, and of course I mean, like this is just straight up Omni Blue. There's nothing crazy about it. You have Megazoo, which we can look over real quick because I forgot what it does. Here it is. It has another Digiburst skill. Return one of your opponent's level 4 less Digimon to the hand. So there we go. I like how Omni decks are becoming a little bit more disruptive alongside their like consistency engine, which I'm a huge fan of. So there we go. Moving on to the next list. We're going into hybrid territory. We're going to end, of course, by talking about green and yellow, like we usually do, but we're going to go into hybrid territory first. Here's your standard rookie rush. Nothing too crazy here. You do have some hybrid guys because this is just a good card, giving you, most of the time, giving you 2 cards, a green Digimon and a blue Digimon, since that's what your deck is. You have this card that let's look over it one more time. I need to remember which tabs are what. Alright, let's look over that green option card one more time because I can never remember the name. It's also in the previous set, right? I'm going to try to make this quick, so let's see. Let's see. Green option, 6 cost, save. Here it is. Positron laser. Up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block. Then if you have a blue Digimon play, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the hand. So that's pretty cool. You can stop your opponent from the following turn. Well, I guess, I don't know, this is a tough card because like it happens at the end of your opponent's next turn. So you have to make sure you have all this memory. So I'm not really sure why he's playing it. It's got a really good security skill though. So that's for sure. Another way to put cards back into the hand as well. But you can also stop your opponent from attacking. So there's that benefit. Like you can stop your opponent from winning the game the following turn so you can win. So it's got like a very, it's really similar to Puppamon in that case. Stop 2 of your opponent's Digimon from attacking. Return 1 to the hand. Overall, pretty cool. I mean, standard Rookie Rush with like the new elements that Rookie Rush has in set 4. Another purple deck. Once again, this was actually not super standard. It still has Anubismon with Lucimon because that's just a nice strategy. And you've got a Grizzly Wing, which is the weird part, but like, okay, that's fine. But it's also playing like Beelzemon, so he's very turbo. He's letting everything hit the trash. He's playing a very small amount of option cards for the just for that sake, which I'm not really like. This deck looks pretty cool because you got Beelzemon to control the board. You have Anubismon, of course, Millenniumon, but other than that, like it's a very strange list. It's very cookie cutter. It looks like a set 1 list, honestly, with like the cool new aspects. But other than that, doesn't look like there's any new cards in it. Like if you think about set 1 right now, you play this deck. This blocker becomes the other 2 drop blocker. You don't have this card, but we have something really similar to it. It's just a 7 cost to play. And of course, we don't have Recovery and Lucimon, or in Hasten and Anubismon, but everything else with the list looks very similar to set 1 meta. So that's why, to me, it's like very cookie cutter purple. But purple is still winning. There was another deck that won with purple, but it was very, very standard. It's your standard Metal Garurumon. I didn't want to showcase it today because it's just black Metal Garurumon. Purple. That's all there is to it. It doesn't have anything else to it except for Black Metal Garurumon doing its thing. Alright, so we got a hybrid yellow deck, and this is what I'm talking about. Like yellow's doing more than green right now because yellow has all these really strong hybrid decks. In this case, we have yellow and red. This is just pretty much a yellow deck if we're going to be 100% honest, but it's playing Marcus Damon as your tamer that gives you 3 memory to start the turn over TK because your attackers are Greymon. War Greymon, I mean. And since War Greymon can start your turn with 4 memory, that's not bad at all. You still have this thing that can give you extra memory as well, but because you're playing a red tamer, he's also playing Gallantmon, because since you control the board so well, since you're a yellow deck, you can delete Digimon with DP through DP reduction. You can put a lot of cards in your opponent's trash, go into Gallantmon, and if you just swing once with Gallantmon and your opponent has like 10-20 cards in their trash, you're already taking extra security. You don't care if you die because that's what the point of the card was. Also, I guess if you have a red tamer down, you can delete something, which is pretty good. But overall, I feel like the attack part of this card is really good as well. You have Rise Greymon here with Digiburst to play down your skills. He's also still playing TK over, or Tai over here, because Tai can gain you memory if you delete a Digimon. Same thing as Patamon. Not really sure if I would play this personally, but I do like the idea of the rest of this deck. You still play the standard like Slash Angemon, War Growlmon as well, Chaosmon. So this is really interesting. It's got a splash of red in the yellow, which I'm a fan of. Standard blocker black here. It's blocker black, but with some cool level 7s. Really not that many, honestly. Just Blitz Greymon. You got War Greymon here. I'm not really sure what this is. Is that Crescarumon? That's probably Crescarumon, right? I can't really tell. Let's find out. It evolves from a red and a black. Does Crescarumon evolve from a red? Yes, it does. Alright, so it's Crescarumon. Oh, where's the deck? I lost the deck. There it is. Yeah, Crescarumon to play down some more level 5s. Not too many level 5s. You have some Andromons. I'm not really sure what this is. And then you got Metal Greymon. Some of these cards I just can't tell off the pictures. I think that's a new card though. Let's just really quickly check it out before this video. Oh, this video is already getting kind of long, so let me quickly see if it's one of the new cards or not, and then we can move on from there. I don't think it's Gomamon. It's a 7 play, right? It's not a new card. Fine, whatever. I'll just search it, I guess. Black, level 5, 7 cost, save. Which one is it? Is it this? Oh no, it is Megadramon. Alright, cool. Megadramon giving your guys blocker. Alright, that makes sense. It is a blocker blacklist after all. Alright, so Megadramon giving you dudes blocker, and then you've got some standard blocker stuff. So old school blocker black still winning a tournament, which is nice to see. Here is another kind of yellow deck. It's a red deck, but it ends in War Greymon as your attacker here. It's really hard to see, but you've got Victory Greymon, you have War Greymon, Blitz Greymon, Shine Greymon. So it's got a whole bunch of options here. It's just a red deck with some yellow options in the War Greymon. That is the only War Greymon, I think, though. Unless this one's... No, this is the Victory Greymon. So it's just another red deck, I guess. It's not really more of a yellow deck. It's more of a red deck. But it's really cool nonetheless. It's Omega Red, or Omni Red with some Tech War Greymon and a Shine Greymon as well. That's pretty nice. And here is the Megazoo that I was talking about. You see a lot of these different variants of Megazoo, and I'm really excited to see Lotusmon put some work in it. If you guys don't know what Lotusmon does, I think Lotusmon is really cool and like has not seen any play at all until like today, from what I can tell. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Lotus. Is that not how you spell its name? Alright, well, we'll just since I'm bad at spelling, apparently, we're gonna move on and check it out here, because it's somewhere over here. Here we go. Oh, Lotosmon. Okay, I don't know why I thought of it, but anyways, during all turns, when you or your opponent plays a level 4 or lower Digimon, suspend it, which is great because you don't play a level 4 Digimon. You're a Megazoo deck, so you don't have to worry about your guys resting while your opponent does, and that means that in order for them to play down a level 5 without it being rest, they're giving you usually a lot of memory as well. So you have the option of this card, stopping your opponent, which can also evolve into one of our 8 Chaosmons, which is crazy. Of course, you are still playing Puppetmon, this guy to recover as well, which, by the way, when you play this down, it does go into rest with Lotusmon on the board, something to keep in mind. Got Magnadramons that can evolve into... you have Magnamons that can evolve into Magnadramon. Same with Shakomon, which is good against Rookie Rush. And then whenever you attack with Magnadramon, you can play down Lucimon as well. Of course, you do have standard jamming boys over here. TK, just to take a look at your security and I guess take a card. There should be a yellow card most of the time. I believe this is Eden's Javelin, right? Eden's Javelin means that you can, based on the number of cards in your hand, you can delete DP and draw a card as well. You are playing blue, so Ice Wolf Claw, which is excellent when paired with Chaosmon, because that means you could sometimes reuse the effect of Puppetmon, Magnadramon, even Magnamon, just for 4 memory as opposed to the gigantic cost memory that they cost here. Of course, you can rest your opponent with guys like Flower Cannon, which is another reason why TK is pretty good in this deck. You can actually look at your security, go, okay, so now that I know what my security is, sure, I have to shuffle my security, but I know at some point my opponent will hit Flower Cannon, resting them all, which means I will have at least 1 extra turn in this game, which is really cool. Unless they hit it as the last security card, which is going to be kind of annoying. But not the last one. I mean, like, it's even if it is the last one, still your opponent won't be able to swing for game, so I guess there's that. This card lets you put a Digimon on the board onto your security for 1 memory, which is cool because you have a lot of really strong yellow Digimon. But I think it could be any Digimon if I remember correctly. Let me actually find out, because that's kind of important, right? Because if it could be any Digimon on the board, that's also really relevant. Let's take a look. Place one of, yeah, as any of your Digimon, doesn't have to be yellow Digimon, so that's pretty cool. In case you need to get rid of some other guys off the board. Alright, we're spoiling. So yeah, overall, Megazoo, this is just another variant of Megazoo. It feels like there's a new variant of Megazoo every week, which makes me happy. I think Megazoo is a cool deck. So yeah, I really need to test Megazoo. I haven't sat down and tested it yet, but I think it's cool. Now we're going into like standard green, standard yellow territory. This is your standard green deck. I looked at all 7 green decks, and they're all about the same thing. Some of them don't play Chaosmon, most of them do, and they were all picked Valdararm now, which I kind of agree with. I think Valdararm is just better in yellow, in green, I mean. Being able to remove 2 Digimon off the board and gain memory if you get destroyed. But yeah, standard cookie cutter green, winning tournaments nonstop. And now we have yellow. We still have Shine Yellow doing bits in Japan, which is really nice. You have quite a few tamers. You have 2 Rise Greymons to put tamers on the board, so now like you don't even have to worry too much about spreading your board with tamers as long as you don't evolve to level 5, which is really easy because look at, you have like 2 level 1 evolution 4s, and then you have another blocker as well. Lots of rookies that are really good, lots of good tamers, and you even have this guy that can gain you memory as well if you need to in a pinch. It's very easy to set up your tamers on the board to evolve into Shine Greymon to sweep the board. Once again, in this format where you can very easily be rushed by a lot of different strategies, it may not be as easy, and also if you get disrupted, it means I have to build up another guy, but you can always build up another guy in the raising area so you don't get disrupted as easily. But it is still pulling off what it needs to pull off. And once again, if your opponent doesn't rush you, you have access to Kyrie that can punish your opponent for rushing you. So overall, really cool, really nice Shine Greymon list. And then of course we do have standard yellow. This one's actually not super standard, but like yellow has a whole bunch of different variants. So once again, not really sure what happened this week with the pictures, but you know, shout out to these people on Twitter as always. We do have a pretty standard yellow list. You've got the Slash Angemon, the War Greymon, the War Growlmon. This one's playing Rise Greymon through, so you can Digiburst into your TK. He's playing 3 of them though, so that's the part that's like that confuses me. Like, why is he playing so many Rise Greymon? I know Rise Greymon has another decent skill, another decent evolution skill, I should say. Let's go ahead and take a look at it really quick. Like, if you have a tamer, one of your opponents with Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. So it is another DP reduction card. So there's that. Like, that alone is a good enough reason to play this card, honestly. Because the other thing, War Greymon, sure, it can get rid of 4000 DP that turn, but it's only like a Digiburst skill, and you can only use once. And its other skill, it doesn't reduce DP, and also I'm looking at the wrong list. Other than that, though, pretty standard stuff. But yeah, we managed to get through this video under 25 minutes, which is excellent. So you guys know the drill. Like the video if you haven't already, subscribe, share, all that good jazz. Let me know what decks you guys want to see me play in the future. Remember that you can check out my streams on twitch.tv/ABOrbon. There you will see me play both set 1 meta on webcam versus viewers, if you guys are looking to play some webcam to practice for tournaments and whatnot. You guys can join me out there. And then on Tuesdays, I play set 4 meta, like this meta right here, with my buddy Carlos, and also some viewers as well. So if you guys are interested in any of that, check me out on Twitch. Subscribe to me on YouTube. I will be posting deck matches, hopefully pretty consistently 2 or 3 times a week. Ideally, we'll see. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.